Hey, OzFalcon here from Taunted, February 2nd, 2012. Just woke up this morning and thought, what the hell? I'm going to start a video log. I've probably been inspired by Critical from Mindfreak Esports. I myself also think I've got a lot to offer to the community in terms of sharing my comments and views on various things that are happening Call of Duty wise on the Xbox 360 platform. Going to talk about my own team, Taunted. Going to talk about other teams. Going to talk about both Search and Destroy and 4v4s. Rule sets, just absolutely anything and everything. Probably go off topic as well. If there's anything you guys want me to talk about, whether it be Call of Duty related or not, just either comment below, let me know, send me a private message, whatever you guys like. So yeah, welcome aboard and let's get stuck into it. So we're going to start with the CGO finals we're about to start on Cyber Gamer for Search and Destroy 2v2 and Kill Confirmed. It's been a pretty good season so far, especially from a tournament perspective. We've played 21 matches in total and lost one. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it, going in with good form. Might just look at Search and Destroy first. A lot of interesting things have happened. Most notably, as of late, Viral's actually dropped out of finals. This follows some pretty heavy losses, in particular against Catalyst and Rain, both blowout scores against teams that you really wouldn't expect Viral to lose to, especially if their roster on paper. I don't know what's going on there. I guess that just shows you that superstar players don't exactly make a superstar team, as well as the fact that they really haven't been playing the game much anyway. A lot of their guys are 4v4 players. They're just not really into the Search and Destroy game mode. However, it's got serious implications when it comes to leagues. I think Viral were certain CGI starters, and there's not that many CGI quality teams to begin with, so this really opens up a hole for a team to come through and shine. Whether there is a team that really is capable of being in there or not, we're sort of yet to see, but interesting nonetheless. We've gone through with 5 wins and 0 losses on Search and Destroy. We're about to have one more game. Hopefully we can pull that through and head into finals undefeated. But you know, it's going to be good finals. There's a lot of good teams. You got Crux Crew, you got Catalyst, Afterlife, Legacy, all pretty serious contenders, all capable of taking the #1 spot. It's going to be good. Who do I pick to win? I really don't know. I think the best team we've played so far has been Catalyst. They've got an outstanding roster. They're all playing really well. They've just picked up Spade recently, who won CGI in Season 2 Black Ops. That's quite a boost for them. As well as veterans, Shockwave, Bait, Kitty, Fluenza, Taboni. They're playing quite well. However, the real dark horses, absolutely the guys playing the hardest, screaming the hardest, would have to be Afterlife. We had a game against these guys recently on Bootleg, which we won 13-11. It was really tight actually. We had to pull a pretty big comeback to get on top of them, and they're solid. And when you compare these guys to Viral, it just shows you that you have to be a team. You can't just be a bunch of superstar players bunched together and just hope for the best. So I really would expect Catalyst and Afterlife to be at the top most of all, but it should be interesting. So here we go, 2v2 finals as well. Taunted, myself, and my little son, Travis, who I adopted. We've gone through with about 10 wins, 1 loss. Our loss was to KE, actually, against Snappy and I think Janitor. And they've recently lost to Impact, which actually bumped them out of the professional 2v2 finals. I think they're sitting on about 12th now. So the only team we lost to, we won't be playing in the finals, so that is a bit of a boost in terms of being able to take out the title. But there's only a couple of teams that are really capable of taking this out, as well as ourselves. The other one is Impact, who are undefeated. They've got Inspires and Razor. They've pretty much taken out everybody 2-zip. They've only dropped 1 map the entire time. There's a team with Carrot and Tricks, who are quite good as well and potentials to take it. But most notably is probably Suit Up, who have Chrome and Fighter. That's just chin to the max. They're going to be a really, really tough team to beat in 2v2 environment. So it should be interesting. The 2v2 season's been okay. Not too happy with the maps and game types, to be honest. I really think Sabotage needs to make a comeback and Domination needs to just go. Having two people chase two people around a map with 3 flag points just doesn't work, especially on some of the stupid maps we've had to play, such as Carbon. 2v2, the rule set's lined up with 4s in terms of banning certain guns. I think we need to do the same thing in terms of maps and game types. Like Sabotage needs to come in, but maps like Carbon, Village, Mission, see you later. These things just don't work. They're garbage to play. They're not fun. They're too big. A map like Dome, which is your small map, just doesn't appear in the 2v2 rotation at all, and it needs to appear more often. So hopefully that's something that does change leading into Season 2. But yeah, we're really looking forward to the 2v2 finals as well. And then we've got the third and final finals format for the Cybergames CGO ladders, and that's Kill Confirmed. Kill Confirmed was introduced over TDM this time around. The game mode's fantastic. It is really fun to play. In terms of public, it's probably the best thing to play, and it works in competitive environment. It's a shame that the ladder is virtually dead. Not much activity occurs. There's only 40 teams. Because of there being only 40 teams, I'm actually quite surprised that there is going to be a 16 teams final system. I don't think there's 16 active teams. I think the admins are going to see a lot of forfeits and mucking about with this final system. It's going to be interesting anyway. There's 2 teams undefeated who are likely to take it out. One's ourselves and the other is Impact once again. Both teams undefeated. Pretty much 2-zip everyone, haven't really had much of a challenge, and we haven't played each other yet either. So being able to meet each other in the finals is going to be pretty interesting. There's a couple other notables. One is Suit Up, who have an outstanding roster. They've got the likes of Chrome and Biscuity, and they've got Scryer, but they've forfeited and been no-shows for the last 4 matches. Whether they actually decide that they're going to play finals or not, we're yet to see. If they do, absolute contenders. Hopefully they do show up, they do put up a fight, and make Kill Confirmed that little bit more interesting. The only other notable, though, would be Astride. They've got a solid roster too, a few knowns. Whether they can rise up to the challenge or not, we'll have to wait and see. But looking forward to the Kill Confirmed finals also. So the biggest news of late has been rule set revisions. A couple of changes lately in 4v4s and Search and Destroy. 4v4 actually quite a simple one. The Search and Destroy plant defuse time has been raised to 7.5 seconds. This is to keep our rule set aligned with Deserto's international rule set. They've been using 7.5 for quite some time. We're using 5, I think, just to keep Search and Destroy on all our ladders the same. But we have fully gone with Deserto now for 4s, and hopefully that avoids some confusion, as there was some at ACL Gold Coast. We play both 7.5 and 5 seconds all day. But everyone should now be aware, 4v4, Search and Destroy, plant defuse is 7.5. In regards to Search and Destroy, lots of debate. Type 95, it's finally gone. We don't have to rage and argue and whinge and complain about it anymore. It's finished, it's not coming back, see you later. Am I bothered? Not really. It was fine if it went, happy if it stayed. As a team, for Tournament, I think it benefits us that it is gone. I'm just concerned as to where the rule set's going to go from here. I would hate for the ACR to get removed because it becomes the next dominant weapon. And then I would hate the MK14 to get removed after that, and then the need for the SCAR to get removed. And before we know it, we're just playing with the MP5, the M16, and the AK-47. I don't feel that we need to make every Call of Duty like COD 4 with those same 3 guns over and over. I'm happy to be open and for new guns to be introduced and for new guns to be the dominant guns. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If the Type 95 was called the M16, no one would be whinging. People complained in Black Ops that the M16 tagged too much. Now we have a burst weapon that doesn't tag, and we complain anyway. If the MP7 was called the MP5, no one would be whinging either. We'd be happy as. But there just seems to be that need within the community that we just have to be using those 3 guns. We keep trying to make it like COD 4 because that was the best COD. But I really don't think we need to keep going in that direction. I'd hate to see the rule set get stripped down further, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. In terms of flashes on presets, I think that's been a huge success. The UMP flash class has been removed. I didn't think that necessary either. I thought with the current rule set, we'll see a nice balance between flashes and smokes. I didn't see the UMP flash being hawed to death, but other teams have seen that, so fair enough. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. This Sunday is the next Cyber Gamer 4v4 one-day comp. It's looking really good. There's 20 teams signed up. You know, the OzCOD 4v4 scene just keeps growing and growing. It's huge. Yeah, it's great. There's all the usual teams are there. There's some new teams. It's really good and promising to see. If you haven't signed up or if you haven't paid for your team yet, make sure you do it now. The deadline is tomorrow night at midnight. Don't leave it to last minute because dramas happen every time. You know, your PayPal payment doesn't go through, yada yada yada, and you end up missing out. So if you haven't done it, do it now. It's gonna be great. There is no CGI 4v4 finals format, so if you want to play 4v4 in a competitive finals type environment, this is the competition to do it in. Who's going to win? Who the bloody hell knows anymore? 4v4, there's just so many teams now. Frey, through 2011, pretty much went through almost unbeatable. There were only a couple of teams able to compete against them, but the amount of teams is there's like 10. There's a lot of really solid teams. There's more 4v4 scrims happening now than there is S&D, so a lot of teams are improving. Most notably, Vox, who dropped S&D early this year to play fours, and it's really paid off for them. They made the Gold Coast Grand Final against Frey, losing just narrowly in the closest series ever in a best of 11. But last night, Vox, they beat Frey in the best of 11 in the final map. So it's hard to pick. Vox have come out of nowhere. They're playing really well. I think the difference between Vox and Frey is that Vox are constantly using their same 4 players with Metal Freak coaching, who is just dead set the best coach in Oz. So it's going to be really interesting to see this weekend. Frey, I really don't know what's going on there. They're having to chop and change and rotate their 5. You'll notice that whenever they use Buzzard, Renzi, G-Mun, and Sten guns, they pretty much 99% of the time always win. But they played it from Necrotics, they lost. They played with Fighter at ESGN Melbourne, they lost. They played with Fighter last night, and they lost. That's pretty much the only 3 finals they've lost when they're not playing for the usual 4. It puts a lot of pressure on Fighter. They dropped Necrotics after he didn't perform in the grand final. Fighter now 2 from 2. They've lost. So he really needs to perform probably to stay in that roster. Not sure what's going on there. Hopefully they have their core 4 for the weekend. But we will wait and see. On the sponsorship front, we've just announced our partnership with Interactive Productions. They've reworked all our graphics for us. If you check out our YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all our backgrounds, SIGs, banners, the works, they've given us a fresh new look. Hope you guys like it. And if your team or organisation needs some work done, you guys need videos, graphics, write-ups for your team even, hit these guys up. These guys are absolutely awesome, and you're really worth supporting them. In regards to sponsors in the coming weeks or month, we should have some new announcements also, so stay tuned for that. Well, that's it from me for my first video log. As always, if you like and comment our videos, we'll give you a chance to win some of these Control Freaks Close Quarters Combats. They're really good, they'll make you a better player. Get involved, comment below. Anything you want, guys. If you've got a question, comment, you want something me to discuss, it can be COD related, off topic, doesn't really matter. I'll try and answer anything and comment on anything as best I can. So thanks guys, please support us, subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks very much.